I'm going to post a tweet about this too.
Great. Chris, we're live now.
Awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah. So tell us, can you make us a brief intro about yourself, academic background, professional background, so we can,
How much
get a
time do you
brief.
have? No, joking.
All you need.
My name is Chris. I go by Lama in the esports world. I've been in the esports industry for just about, I think, coming up to 10 years now. Started from, a grassroots organization that we founded locally, developed that into being sponsored by LAN centers, bringing in young players to play Fortnite, to play Apex Legends, Splitgate, if we want to put some dates on things, when that game first came out. We had then kind of established ourselves into a tier 2 Rainbow Six team, developed that up, got acquired once, really invested heavily into Rainbow Six, acquired the best roster in Canada at the time. They were in the Canadian Professional League. Went to Six Invitational with that team in 2021 in Paris. I think we finished top 12. I think we were the first team from North America to beat G2 on LAN, which is a big win. Did really well there. Ended up playing out the rest of the North American Challengers League with that team. Won that league. Went to Las Vegas, promotion relegation match versus Xset, beat them, got promoted into Pro League, and then the whole world changed. We ended up getting into Pro League, 2 years. Through that, another acquisition of the company. I stayed on board until 2023. Some organizational structures within the parent company. I ended up stepping down in April of 2023. Did a full year of content creator, product, and business development through an agency called Viral Nation. Very close with them, love them, Toronto-based company. And got a call last year about an opportunity from Conestoga College, where I was already teaching, saying they had this opportunity for an esports manager. They're looking for somebody with, industry experience, a good network. Thought it was a really good opportunity. Did the interviews, and here I am today. Now the manager of esports at Conestoga College. I've been developing courses, teaching courses for 5 years from Seneca, where I graduated from, and also through Conestoga College. Did some work with Keano College way back in time, and Algoma University for their new esports program. I'm not sure if it's launched yet, but I worked with them as well. So I've been all over the place, from like grassroots to pro to collegiate to education, the whole world of esports, which is great.
That's amazing. So it's not very often, that someone in your position has both the academic background and the gaming and esports. It's usually one or the other, but it's amazing when you can get both. So amazing. And what would you say is your main objective for the upcoming year?
The main objective, I'd say, for the year is just to continue to develop the relationship right now with my team, with the players, and with the greater esports community. I've kind of come in, and I can be a disruptor a little bit. I like to challenge what's happened, what's going on, and how we can be better. Sometimes I'll be right, sometimes I'll be wrong. I'll take those losses on the chin all the time. But my goal is really just to continue to develop what we're doing, and just adapt and learn with the industry as it grows. And then our biggest goal of the year at Conestoga is just to launch our esports arena that we're building right now.
Amazing. And going into what you're doing, can you explain a bit the structure that you've built in the program, and how you do the implementation?
Yes, for sure. So the program's built now into, we call it our 4 pillars. So we've got teams as one pillar. We've got facilities as another pillar. So we have an esports hub right now. we're building an esports arena, and there's future plans of having additional hubs in different campuses. We have 6 campuses right now. Our long-term goal would obviously to be having an esports hub in every single campus, whether it's 20 PCs, 30 PCs, 50 PCs, whatever it is, depending on the need and the appetite at that space. Right now, we're working in the different campuses with what we call like satellite or pop-up events. So we have 2 part-time student staff who pop up an Xbox, a TV, PlayStation, let people drop in and play. The goal is to not have to have that and have small hubs across, and then build into like an intramural league with all the different campuses, and then bring them in at the end to the arena for a grand championship of all the different games. Okay, so that's teams, self-explanatory. Facilities, then we have events. Events is kind of tiered into our own hosted events. So we host a large event called Waterland every year with the University of Waterloo. And this is what I love about esports, is the fact that we get to collaborate with different universities, where in collegiate sport, generally you're just playing against colleges. Universities play against colleges, or colleges play against colleges, universities play against universities, period. End of story. But here we get to compete against North American colleges, North American universities, everybody, right? Really cool. So events, our own IP events, so Waterland, for example. Then we have our third-party events, which anyone can come in. We offer white glove service where we can do everything for you. Full production, tournament organization, bracket running. We've got students who can be, the TOs and the player managers and whatever you need. Or you want the space, here it is. Here's the blueprint. This is what you need to do. Here's how you press play, or you can bring in your own equipment and stream however you need. Again, we have the students who are always willing to volunteer for these kinds of events so they can put it onto their resume. And then the last one is, teams, facilities, events, and media. See, you already know. You got it. Lucky we talked about this before. So on the media side, it's obviously everything from production to filming different content. Really good pieces coming out from our team right now. On the media side, we just launched I Am a Condor, which is highlighting our players, and something that I think is missing right now in a lot of collegiate esports, and even some professional teams. They don't have the resources or the ability to get on the road and go film, is these highlight pieces of players, right? Who are you? What do you do? What game do you play? What program are you taking? What do you do outside of gaming? All of these little important things to humanize the esports environment that we live in. I'm fine with it, but I would love to see more colleges using their players and their likeness and image on graphics, as opposed to seeing a Rainbow Six image with an operator on it, or a Smash with a Smash character on it. Like, lean into the players that you have and support them and help them grow, because really at the end of the day, you're helping kind of develop their future. These are portfolio pieces that they can have. Hey, I was on this. Or especially if you're trying to go pro, like, pro orgs want you to be number one. They're looking at your following on social media. They're looking at how you present yourself online most of the time, hopefully. And it's just all important. And then this helps you maybe develop sponsors. If I can get a sponsor for I Am a Condor, that's a win. Yeah. Who knows? There's all of these different opportunities. So yeah, media, filmed content, like owned IP content, all of that kind of stuff. Our production, one of the best in collegiate esports, I'd say. And I'm not just saying that because I work at Conestoga, but I honestly believe that our production's incredible. It was nominated for an award last year. Hopefully we'll take some hardware home this year, maybe. But all of this development is great. We have a whole bunch of new equipment that I've brought from my personal. We've just purchased from the team. So just buckle in, because we have like a lot of plans for content.
Amazing. And your objective with like bring the quality production that you bring and highlighting all the players and all doing all the behind the scenes, how does that basically help in terms of recruitment and getting like sponsorships?
Yeah. So I say on the recruitment side, I want people to see our program as not just, we're not just a competitive team. We're not just good at X game or all games or whatever. I want the players and the students to get the full scope of like the esports experience and what that looks like from really a professional lens, right? If I wasn't creating content with our players from the pro scope, nobody knows what's going on. Nobody cares. And people care sometimes more about the player than they do about the organization, right?
Yeah.
I want people to care about the organization as the school, but I also want them to know, when does X player play? I want them to come here and say, I want to come out of this and learn how to talk in front of the camera. I want to, yes, get better at my game with the best coaches, the best whatever. But I also want to highlight all the people that are behind the scenes too, myself, the coaches, the student staff, the people that you don't even see behind the scenes. I want everyone to be as visible as possible, which is going to help develop the program as it is. But we're not like necessarily recruiting just for esports, right? I want, at the end of the day, they're student athletes. We want them to leave with a diploma, a degree, or whatever, right? And then also have this incredible experience of esports as part of it, just like you would as an athlete. I sat on the bench for varsity baseball for a year in my college career. And it was one of the best experiences of my life. I look back at it. I still wear my hat. I still wear all the stuff, but we want this experience to keep going. And I want them to be proud of the diploma or degree that they walk out with too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Take some water.
That's all good. And you mentioned like in the production side, like you make, your players, like a name, build their brands, but would you who you also like encourage like the players or like the staff involved in your program to also develop like talk about Honestoga and your program? Because like what at Esportion, what we're gonna start doing, we didn't yet. It's only me. It's like all our staff members, okay, are going to like post on social media their day to day, their work they're doing at Esportion, and each, a marketing person, Leandro, building his community in marketing, okay, and attracting, those people that potentially would like to work in the long run in Esportion. The recruitment guy, Amaso, okay, posting content about recruitment, how he does his work, stuff like that, and like this in every department. And I think that's how you basically, because nowadays, like the brand Esportion, I mean, it doesn't resonate as much as the humans behind the brand, Yeah.
That's exactly it, right?
Yeah.
You've seen it on probably with professional organizations, the Twitter org or the sweater org, when they used to call 100 Thieves a sweater org.
Yeah.
If we don't, and I also don't I don't want to be on camera all the time. I want Zach to be on camera. I want Addy to be on camera. I want Yuri to be on camera. Those are our three core staff members that we have. But I also want the students to be on camera, get comfortable, talk about stuff. Because my audience only goes as far as my audience goes. But if we all collaboratively start posting and liking and commenting and doing all this stuff all over, it's only going to help the greater good, right? So at the beginning, we just launched a LinkedIn page recently. It's less than 6 months old. I'm pretty happy with 300 followers. Good start, I'd say. No paid ads or anything on there. But the first thing we did is highlight every single staff member on the team. And now we're going to start posting about things that are happening the week to week, the day by day. I post about my side of the story. Zach will post about his side of the story. I know Addie has come to me and said, I want to start talking about the production room and how I made changes there and how we went from this to now a nominated production. Go for it. Talk about it. Because I can't speak on behalf of these guys and how they're feeling. And if they can put some raw emotion into it and like, you know, explain all of this stuff to the world, I'm going to then share it to my audience, which is going to just put the reach out. And then Zach's going to do the same, and it's going to expand and expand. And then people are going to start saying, oh, I didn't know you guys had a esports program, or I didn't know you did production, or I didn't know you host third-party events, right? Yeah. So, you know, get out there, talk about it, post, talk about your team, because all of this is going to just help at the end of the day.
Yeah, of course. And on your media department, all the investment that you're doing and all the scholarships that we talked about before, like going live, what is your stance on giving also scholarships for content creators to like create content about the program, you know, maybe behind the scenes, or like put their logo, you know, your program logo in their stream? And there's some colleges that are really, you know, giving big amounts of scholarship for that. And for student recruitment, okay, to recruit students, that's been very like, it's been a good ROI basically, because it's not the name of the university, it's like the human, okay, that is part of that university, and he has a community that follows him or her, okay, and they're more likely to go to Honistoga because they're part of that. So what do you think of that?
No, I think that's great, and something I haven't really thought of, right? But we do have, I'd say we do have students from different schools of whatever that are supporting us on the content side, whether they're, you know, they're broadcast radio students. We have a couple of students that are coming to do a work study with us for 6 weeks. I think they're starting in the end of next week, towards the end of the semester. Like, we're already in the second half of the semester, which is insane. It flies by. We're almost at the end of the competitive season. It's crazy. So they're going to be coming into us, and we're going to pilot a new content piece, kind of like a podcast like this. And we're going to see how that goes. But yeah, thinking about, you know, content creation and scholarships on that side. Yeah. I mean, the goal of, you know, the marketing spend is to get the ROI. And at the end of the day, it comes to recruitment, right? We want good players, good people, and it going towards the greater organization. So great idea. I'm going to put that in my notebook. Zach, if you're watching, let's write that down.
I mean, we've worked with 3 content creators and placed them this year, and out of like an accident, because like it was a student that was like top in the Netherlands, you know, in Warzone. The collegiate scene for Warzone was like not that great. I talked with a few colleges, and they were like, hey, but he's like one of the top in the Netherlands. You know, like I would give him the same amount of scholarship as a player, you know. And I'm not going to name universities, but like the university said that when they were doing streams, okay, with their assistant coaches or other players, and they talked about the university they were in, and they were doing like live Q&As and stuff, like they received quite a bit of applications. And
well, that's the thing too, is a lot of players also, you see this in the pro space, the best content creators or players are also content creators during the off season. It's how you support with secondary income or whatever else. It's good for the organization. Sometimes it's put into the contract. You know, you play for 8 months, but I need you to create content for the other few months that you're not competing, to help, you know, continue that audience development for yourself and for the player. And that, going back to the beginning, kind of is like, fans are fans of players before they're fans of teams, especially in esports. Very small team compositions. Chris is my favorite player. Great. He plays for Condors. Oh, he moved to other university. I'm going to be a fan of him, or whatever team it is. Unfortunately, we can only retain so much, but What we need to focus on is like our four walls, our college. How can we build that fandom and audience within our institution? Tell them about what's going on, get them excited about it. Just like I want to see everybody walking around with, Condors branded merch at college. Of course, their Conestoga gear is fine too, but I want to see the Condors. It's a great logo. Look at it. It's wonderful. Wear it. But building that fandom of the players starts from home, starts from grabbing a camera, filming some content, talking about them, putting them on a platform and building them up. And if it's also a content creator who's doing that, I know you had Comp on recently. Josh, he used to play for me. He was also a content creator. He went to Elevate, was a content creator for them. Amazing Rocket League player. He went to college and did stuff. He was probably streaming on Saturday, Sunday when he was doing RLCS quals and all of that stuff. He's kind of that guy, right? He's got 10,000, 15,000 followers on different platforms. Great. But is he actually talking about the teams and the organizations enough when he's streaming to, right? We don't know. But are these content creators that you're talking about that are getting a scholarship, what's in their scholarship contract that's saying, make sure when you're streaming, you have the Condors Esports logo on stream, or you have a panel every, 2 hours, talk about what Condors Esports is and why you chose that institution and why you want to go there, for a second diploma or post-secondary degree or whatever it is. Just there's so many different things, but it gets to a point where you want that buy-in, but you have to give some back. If I'm asking you to create content for me or for my organization, I got to give back, which sure is that scholarship, but I should also be doing something with the media team to help create content for you. Bring up your stream quality, bring up your whatever. You need a new microphone, you need new lights, you need a new camera, whatever it is. How can we make this all better for you? That's my thought.
Yeah. Are you for students on campus, or would you also recruit online players?
Well, we're the on-campus model. We have the facilities, and we've put the investment in, so we want to see the students come back. I think during COVID, online model was the way. I'm not sure. The esports department, I believe, started around that time, but I'm all for the in-person team model where everyone's working together, practicing together. You really see those relationships bud, and also we have paid part-time coaches who are requested to be on site for. I'm not gonna. Great comment. We have part-time coaches who come to college on game days who are with the team, along with working with them online for scrims or practices and whatnot. But we actually have them here, and we've seen a huge difference when the coach is online. Coach is in person versus not. So we love that model. Want to continue that model. But if a league allows a player to play online for that specific day, I think maybe NECC could be one of those that they're allowed to play online. We're fine with it. At the end of the day, they're students first. If Zach has an assignment tomorrow and he has a 30-minute commute into the facility, practice, scrim, game, it's 11:30 at night, then he goes home for 30 minutes. That's an hour of potential study or assignment work or whatever he needs to do to get ready for the next day of class. So at the end of the day, this is more important than the record at the end of the season. We want SAC model student here. I love it. We have, student athlete. You're a student first, but we want you to still compete at the highest level possible. And then if you're unable to compete or there's problems or your grades drop or whatever, we have resources within our program and within the college to support, to make sure at the end of the day you're getting that diploma or degree
Yeah.
or whatever. So
Yeah, because like
long answer, in person, yes.
yeah, I mean, and the experience is of course way different. And I mean, the college experience is something that you will remember for the rest of your life. So and
put it this way, I'll never forget the day that we, like this Parabellum, I'll never forget the day that we went to Vegas, the 5 players and me, and I opened the door. We installed all, like, together. We built IKEA furniture, and we got the chairs from our sponsor, and we got the monitors from the sponsor, and we got the computers from our sponsors, and built this house together. Literally built the house together because it was unfurnished. And the second they all sat down, you could just see this huge smile on their face because they get to play together now instead of this.
yeah,
Right? Online, on Discord, on TeamSpeak, whatever it is, they work their butts off to be able to play in person together, practice together, get driven to their LAN every week, play on stage at the Luxor in the HyperX Arena, go to Paris to play SI, like all of this stuff. And these students get to do it every single week. They get to come play on the varsity stage, play on whatever computer they want every single day, and compete in esports. That's a dream for some people. They can't like think about it, but we offer that. And the other thing too, to go back, and this goes back to the recruitment pieces, we have a partnership and relationship with our Catholic district school board, and we bring in high school students to come compete with the Rocket League teams or whatever teams. We have a large Mario Kart elementary school event coming in a couple of months, or next month, I think April. We're almost at the end of February. Q1's almost done, people. Get your book straight. But getting to see these kids come to a hub and their parents coming to watch and all, like, this is what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
It's the experience. And then what Zach said is, while you're getting an education, how amazing is that? I went to school. I was a photography student. My fun was going into the studio and shooting and collaborating with my classmates. I played baseball. Played baseball. I got to go throw the ball around with my teammates and made new friends, built new relationships, and got to experience all of it while, again, going to school. It's great. I don't want to be online. I want to be in person.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I can't create content of the students when they're online.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah.
This would be great in person, Ivan. Next time.
Yeah, the quality of content and how it gets to the audience. Yeah. It's in person is the best. So, like, what is one thing that you're seeing, like, across US and Canada in terms of, like, how programs are creating their content? What is one thing that you would advise, or like for them to improve in general?
Advise is still try to understand that you are a college institution, and making sure that you are, following your institution's guidelines on how to create content and how to speak about the brand. Esports can be yes on so X is your
tutorial.
Your shit posting platform. Sorry for my French here. LinkedIn is your professional facing, your tie on and your really nice headshot. But the other thing too, and people need to start thinking about, is like, we need to start diversifying our content into different platforms, because we saw, let's use TikTok, for example, could have gone in a second, right? So knowing where you want to live as a brand or as an institution, where your audience is, and how you speak on these platforms, right? Everything lives for 30 seconds on X, right? We post a game day graphic, we post a retweet and say, game starting now, go to our Twitch channel, but then it's gone because 40 other teams post at the same time that they're playing a game. Instagram needs to be more intentional, good images, good videos, decent copy. People are starting to read more copy on Instagram right now. I just watch reels. That's what I do. So create some real content. TikTok, we don't use TikTok at Condors Esports. Fine, no problem. Institutional rule. I have no issue with it. I developed a very large audience on TikTok, large-ish micro influencer, 30,000 followers on TikTok, opening Pokemon cards during COVID. Great, cool. Can't use that much now. Doesn't do anything for me. LinkedIn, my favorite platform, as much as people don't like it. I think it's great for sparking conversation with business leaders. I think that's where we met and started talking and connecting, and we had our first chat, and now we're here. I want to do this more with you because I love your content and what you've been posting on Twitter. I've written and responded a million times on your stuff and deleted it because I'm like, how do I answer this? I want
to get someone that wants, to get to the real stuff.
Well, if you look at my most recent post about the phones, like that's going viral right now because it upset a lot of players and coaches don't know how to deal with it. So again, maybe a different podcast, but all of these different platforms and how we talk about them and on them and the graphics that we use and the content that we're creating. Again, what I want to see and what I've kind of like pushed our team to do on the media side is completely shift what our look is and feel is on X and on Instagram and focus more player forward.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you put a player's face on a page, it humanizes your brand, and it almost forces that player to go on social and retweet it or repost it. Because you're like, oh, the school posted me instead of the Rainbow Six character in the game, right? I really want to see more of that. Get excited. Talk about your teams. Just elevate everybody. It'll work. Does that answer your question? I went on another tangent.
Yeah, of course. And I also there's a Twitch comment. Okay.
Yep.
How do institutions start pushing the envelope a bit with their content creation? Given the content creation sphere, will living collegiate content feels tame or tamped down in comparison, but obviously has to consider institution guidelines. Okay.
Loaded question. I love this though. Let's start with the first one. How do we start pushing the envelope a bit with the content creation? It really depends again, like what are you trying to push? The reason why traditional esports works is because it's a very like toe the line of risque, and we're not gonna Conestoga College isn't flying the FU banner like, was it Sentinels who did that? G2 Sentinels, in the plane.
No,
we're not doing that at Conestoga. Yeah. It's not happening. But there's ways to have fun. If you look at, I think it was Maryville and St. Clair. Maryville has a McDonald's partnership sponsorship. They have their own meal within the college institution, university. Sorry. St. Clair went to a LAN, I think, in the area and made a content piece about McDonald's and their team eating McDonald's and like throwing the bag away. Just having little fun and poking fun at it without going over the top, and choice of language and choice of imagery or whatever it is. We can still toe that line in a professional manner while also representing our institution in a good light. If you ever have questions as an admin or as a content creator or a student or whatever, you have to ask those questions. Where can we go? Put a pulse check out on this Twitter post before it goes live. How do we feel about this? Somebody might say they love it. Somebody might say they don't like it. Again, the good thing about esports, maybe good, maybe bad, is we have a pretty short-term memory because things happen so fast. But is that Twitter post really worth it in the long run? When we're also in this fast-paced environment. So I want to see more meaningful content. I want to see more player content, staff content. Again, I can say this 1,000 times over, but tame and tempered down again, yes, because it's institution-based and I love my job and I want to keep it. And I want my staff to keep their jobs. So if we go a little crazy with social, like we can tone it down. If you want to go crazy, maybe go try to find a job in the professional space.
Good luck keeping it.
No comment. I still have my Parabellum shirt on. I'm still I still rep my brand, even though I don't work there anymore. So too soon, Ivan. Too soon.
Just wanna, no, but well, too soon for you. It's
been a year.
5 p.m. for me. No, but yes. So like most of the social media individuals in collegiate programs, most of them, not all, are usually students. Okay, so they have like X amount of experience. You have like this amount of experience. So like, what is one advice? Like, would you focus to start on maximizing 2 social media platforms, okay, including Twitch and another one, or would you use your content across like 5? What is the best strategy for you?
I'd say so. We're using a platform right now called Planable.
Yeah,
not sponsored. It allows us to cross post one piece of content across everything wherever we want and click on, and so the subscription allows us to. Maybe it's 5 platforms. Yes, most content or social media managers at college are students. Same here. We don't even have a marketing person in our department yet. So I kind of take a little bit of a lead on that. I've established and developed a new strategy for this year, new tracking, new all the stuff. But again, you need to figure out where your audience lives before you go all in on specific platforms. I know that if I'm talking to businesses, we need to talk from the corporate voice on LinkedIn. No offense, students, love you. You're not going on that platform. Our X is for, getting news out, getting information out at a fast pace. That goes out to the greater esports audience. Instagram, through checking out analytics, our Instagram is actually, I think, over 80% local. We have more followers on Instagram than we do on X right now. I'm going to just call it Twitter. Okay. It's Twitter. So we have a larger audience on Instagram than Twitter, but the audience on Instagram is in the Kitchener-Waterloo region, or the Waterloo region, where our schools are. It makes sense. More targeted towards that. So again, same thing with imagery, good images, decent copy, some video content. And then are we going to expand to threads if Twitter decides to go belly up like it's heading right now? Is there a new platform like Blue Sky that we want to invest in? Not really sure.
Something that I was going to say to you.
I see people moving that way. I have an account. I got my @ I'm happy. But I'm not fully engaged in that platform yet because I have my audience on Twitter. But tomorrow, if it goes away like TikTok could have, again, what happens? I lost when I had on TikTok, my videos were really, I never showed my face for the longest time. I was opening Pokemon cards. I was showing new graded cards I was getting. No voice, all audio. So I had a global audience, but I had a large audience from India. I had like 9,000 followers from India. The app got banned there. And I could see an immediate effect of the comments, the likes, the shares from my content, where I then had to adapt to okay, let's start showing my face. Let's start talking on camera about the whatever. And then I started streaming on doing pack openings on Twitch while playing games and doing all kinds of fun stuff on there, and just having to move my audience around, because that's the only way to be successful in this industry, really, too, right? So you need to be prepared for worst case scenario of an app closing or being banned or whatever. But I don't also want to burn out a social media manager, because I'm asking them to post on 5 different platforms and, respond to comments and be fully engaged, when, again, they're still students. And there's other things that we could be doing, which is, let's create YouTube content, which lives a little bit longer and could be more engaging. I separate Twitch and YouTube from social media, because our Twitch content is production and our YouTube is like, it's still social media, but it's still on like the media and production side of things.
Okay. And Chris, like, just I want a tip for his portion that you're mentioning all this. Okay. So like, I've seen like a lot of like marketing experts say like, like you can post on social media, create your brand on social media, but like it's never yours. Okay. But what's yours isn't the email list. So focus on that. Okay. Do you agree? And also we also like build our email list, but like students, do they actually look at the emails? Like,
well, that's another thing, right?
Our DMs or like this kind of stuff, like live talks and stuff is way more, like engaging for them to take an action than actually like them responding to an email, no matter how good the email was tried out of stuff. So like, is it maybe depending on the target audience and the students, from 16 to 21 maybe are like the email marketing thing doesn't
work.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't. And that's why we have Discord and we have this app and we have this app and we have this app and then we have this app. So, and I have a student in the chat right now, and I have a hard enough time getting my students to answer their emails from me as a educator. Never mind from Condor's Esports, from the Condor season. My bad. Guilty. Yeah. So no, I don't think emails work. I delete tons of emails every single day because it's spam. Yeah. Like out. Like I don't have patience yesterday when I left, and this is probably a trauma to Zach. Yesterday when I left the office, I had 35 unread emails. I went to hockey. Also, for those listening, I put my phone in my bag and I didn't pull it out during my game.
Okay.
Podcast number 2.
You have to preach or you...
Yeah. Put my phone in my bag. I didn't pull it out. I had 2 games back to back. So 2 hours I went without my phone. Oh my. And then I opened my phone up when we were going to the restaurant after the game, and I had like 100 and something emails, and I'm like, what happened? So, no, emails don't work because it might get buried. And if I need information immediately, where am I going to get it? I'm going to get it on social media.
Yeah.
But how do you get somebody to click the follow button and stay engaged long term or for however long? And you need to figure that. I can't tell you what the answer to that is.
Yeah.
About audience development, and then forget development, it's retention. How do we keep that person engaged long term with our brand, with our team, and with whatever, when there's a revolving door of players every few terms, or there's new content coming out, or whatever? It's really tough, especially when people follow thousands of other brands. You have to stay on top of things. The other issue within the collegiate space, I'd say, is what kind of content are you creating during the off season, which is a big chunk of time, which is going to crush your algorithm if you're not posting from May until September. You need to figure out and strategize the content in that gap, because then you have to restart in September and you've lost so much traction and you're now at the bottom of the algorithm when it comes to reposting. You need to stay on top of things. And this is something I even speak to with, going to events. Being present is the best thing that you can do, which is why I'm posting often, which is why I want to do more podcasts like this and more talks and being on panels at different events. We need to be present and in the room for people to know what's going on and for them to get excited about stuff. So we could talk about this for hours. There's posts on every platform on how to develop an audience, but at the end of the day, you can read these, and it's the whole Gary Vee thing. One person in the room here is going to come out of this and actually go and do it. Yeah. But I can't tell you how to actually do it because our audience, Chris's audience, is different than the Condors audience. Otherwise, I would have converted a whole bunch of my people to Condors Esports when I moved here, right? Doesn't work like that. I need to have a hook and a connection and then to keep them engaged long-term with all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So deep.
Amazing, Chris. Yeah. And before we wrap this up, like, is there one thing that we didn't mention yet that you would like to outline?
Follow Condors Esports on Twitter. we'll get that at the end.
It on Instagram, Twitch,
everything. Condors Esports across the board. I think so. One thing I'd say, again, in the collegiate space that I might have said at the beginning or I said before we went online here is like, we need to figure out what works for us. We can learn from other institutions. We can try, we can adapt, we can, do different things. But at the end of the day, actually forget all that. Ask your students what they want. Done. Yeah. Period. Ask them what they want. I spent an hour and missed like half of a meeting last week because I was having a deep conversation with some of our student athletes and student staff about like what's missing. How did you find out about Condors Esports? Why are you here? And, a lot of times they're like, oh, I stumbled on it. I don't want you to stumble on it. We're active at all of the open houses. We're active on onboarding week. We have a live stream. We have social media. We have all of these different things. You should not be, and this comes back on me, right? You should not be stumbling across Condors Esports or Condors Athletics. We need to work as a team and collaboratively to make sure that everyone knows about every single thing that's going on in the college. And no, again, the email doesn't work. That's why we have the pop-up satellite things that are going on. If we can capture one student for our whatever team, or me and you are friends in the same class and I find out you're a rock star League of Legends player. Hey, did you know we have an esports program? I'm a caster for that. You could be a player. It's how we found not only one of the best MLB The Show players in our college, one of the best MLB The Show players in the world at our college because of a friend who introduced us to him. And he's going to run the table and hopefully win championships this year. Gold jersey. You need to ask your students what they're looking for. They want spicy content. We can't deliver spicy content. So
they want Marvel Rivals.
No.
From what I see in the comments. So have that in consideration, huh?
we'll talk about it. I'm waiting for him to. He's supposed to be pitching me something in the next coming week. Been really doing well at the in the fighting game community. But again, being present, asking your students what they want, asking, go around and be like, hey, do you know we have an esports arena upstairs or a hub upstairs? Like, come play. You get a couple of hours a week or a day. You get 3 hours a day to come play on the PCs here, and maybe you're a really good player. So come play in our hub tournament or our FIFA tournament, FC, whatever we're going to call it. There's all kinds of stuff going on. Volunteer. So
but the asking students, is like, we take that super serious. Okay. Every end of semester we have like host with our student ambassadors, and instead of like looking for just asking them and what they want, where to find them, what they want, and in every step of our process we have like satisfaction forms. Okay, so they actually tell us what's we're doing wrong, what we could be better, what we're good at, and like it's like feedback from students. Yeah,
I love feedback's the best thing ever. Tell me we're not doing a good job at this, but also tell me why, right? If you're going to tell me I'm not doing a good job at something, at least back it with something and tell me how can I do better. I'll take that and I'll adapt it and fire me up. If I'm doing something wrong, you'll see, right? I've been told that in the past, like this isn't going to work. Okay, I'm going to work my butt off to make sure it works, or I'm going to tell you, Ivan, you were right. This doesn't work. So I have no problem. I take my losses like a champ.
Yeah, same.
You have to. Yeah. But again, we're dealing sometimes with students who haven't gone through that adversity before, and having to give them a that hard lesson. My good friend Val from St. Clair, she always says this, like, lessons, not losses, right? The L stands for lesson. Especially as students, we can take those and learn from them a lot easier than somebody who's in the professional industry or from the other side, where a loss is like, it could be make or break for specific things. Here, to an extent, but at the end of the day, like, learn from it. Education. Sure. We are an educational institution. The end. Like,
yeah, amazing, Chris. I have to say, okay, that your students or your players, like the people involved in your program, like are super engaged. like the level of engagement in the Twitch is amazing. So I have to give you that, man.
I'm glad. I told them that they get extra marks if they show up today. So
extra credit.
Extra credit. I love this. So this whole, like, there's been a caw thing going on, and within I think it started from our Call of Duty team and the coach there, and I've been memeing it so much because I love it, but I don't, and now everyone's gonna learn from my side. And this comes to like the engagement side of things, right? Is just me acting like, it's something I don't necessarily like, but I still I'm bought into it. And now it's our thing. Like, everyone says caw in the chat, and it's exciting. And to my students and whoever's watching, like, there's some cool stuff happening soon on Twitch that everyone will like, in regards to some of this stuff. So
okay, just to wrap up. Okay, we're live, and this is going to be recorded. Chris, is this going to be extra credit for your students? There's a lot of questions here.
Can I get extra credit? I'll give extra credit to anyone who's not in my class. Thanks for showing up today. I appreciate it. For those who are in my class, you'll see your grades for your midterm this week. So good luck.
Chris, thank you so much for your time in this hour that we've been talking. Super valuable information, and I hope, as you mentioned, students absorb this, and the most important, take action. Okay, because only a select few take action, and those are the ones that at the end of the day, have results. So guys, take action in all the advice, okay, that Chris just gave us, for free. So amazing. So thank you very much for your time, Chris.
Thank you. This is a blast. We got to do this more.
Yes.